All right, so we're finally on the anime stuff. No more woke, anti-woke shit. No, we're done with that. I know this is Rice's favorite part. We always look at the anime stuff. Will it be anime recommendations, anime reviews, or anything anime related? This is a manga one. This is 18 minutes long. So this individual says manga Tama. I think I've done a video of her at least one time. Manga Tayama. I think Tama. Manga Tama. I think Mama Tama. I think I'm saying that wrong. Anyway, so it says here ultimate manga recommendation guides features ML. I don't know who that is. 21 manga series you need to read now. So we'll see what that's about.
To another video. Today I wanted to share with you guys my ultimate manga recommendations guide with the help of my anime list, one of the best anime and manga tracking websites out there. We're going to be going over 21 series in this video that traverse so many multiple genres, storylines, and are all guaranteed worth a try. So we're going to be going through 4 different categories that were featured in my anime lists. You should read this manga voting event. So all of the series mentioned, with the exception of the last category, which is my personal favorites, but the rest of these are all featured in my anime lists voting results. And so they've been vetted by so many users of Mal, and so I knew I had to check out these lists for myself. So I did check them out, and I decided to pick a couple series from each category to share with you guys. So all of these series have been through Mal users and then me. And if you make it to the end of the video, there will be some details about an upcoming giveaway featuring series that are mentioned here. So let us start off with the first category, you should read this manga. This one's an overall list of just manga you should read, no matter what genre you normally read. If you haven't read any of these yet, I highly recommend you do so.
The first series in this list is In the Clear Moonlight Dusk. Our main character, Yoi Takiguchi, is
I have this weird feeling this is mostly more female presenting stuff.
Very handsome girl, to the point where her classmates call her the school's prince, but she doesn't really pay much attention to it at all. But then the school's other prince, Kohaku Ichimura, comes into her life. But very unlike her, he doesn't really come off as a prince at all. He acts and speaks without thinking, but he does do one kind of princely thing. He makes her feel like a princess whenever he compliments her, when he looks at her, and when he treats her like the girl that she is. And this series, you guys, is by Mika Yamamori, one of the most iconic romance mangakas.
Obviously, they made her look more boyish for obvious reasons. They did this on purpose.
She created Daytime Shooting Star, Tsubaki Cho Lonely Planet, so you guys know I had to pick this one up, and it's so good, so refreshing so far. The next series, Witch Hat Atelier, I've mentioned a lot in the past, but it's still super high up on my favorites. This is a fantasy seinen series about a magical girl, and in this world, magic is kept super secretive and exclusive, leading our main character, Coco, to develop an interest for it. One day, she spies on a very talented witch, Kifri, and decides to give what he did a try, resulting in her basically blowing up her home. Kifri ends up taking her in as an apprentice, and Coco meets a bunch of other witches in training. But through this, Coco learns how dangerous magic can really be, and how a specific group called the Brimmed Caps have been using magic for unethical purposes. This series is ultimately a perfect blend of magic, innocence, and evil, and just incredible art. I really recommend Witch Hat. The next series, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, has recently just gotten published in English starting February. I have the Japanese version here for now, but I might get it in English soon. So this is a slice of life, slightly romantic series that revolves around our middle-aged man, Sasaki, who is drained every day from his corporate job. But so far, his one joy in life is seeing the cashier at the local supermarket named Yamada. One day, he goes shopping to see her, but he notices that her shift was over. So he ends up smoking behind the supermarket with another worker, Tayama, who's bold and quick to tease Sasaki about his crush on Yamada. And through their more frequent smoking sessions, a friendship really starts to form. And it's actually revealed that Yamada and Tayama are actually the same person. Don't worry, this is not a spoiler. But this series is a perfect slice of life, quite literally, and it portrays such a calming and natural adult romance story that just about anyone can find a piece of themselves in. So this series has just published physically in English, so I highly recommend checking it out. The next series in this category is The Summer Hikaru Died. I actually just recently unboxed this series and had the pleasure of reading it. This is a horror mystery series about two best friends, Yoshiki and Hikaru, who are both from a small village and have basically been with each other since childhood. But one summer, Yoshiki notices a small change in Hikaru but can't really point out what it is. So turns out that Hikaru now is actually not the actual Hikaru. Besides the physical attributes and the memories being the same, everything else just seems slightly off. So Hikaru is now a supernatural being that's basically taking Yoshiki hostage in their friendship. This is a super eerie story. You could just tell by the art here. You'll actually be unable to put it down. And the characters are so wonderfully written too, and you really just never know where the story is going. Next, we're back to wholesome with The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. This is a school romance series that has outdone so many series with the mature takes of the characters, proper communication, and just amazing art. We start off with kind of a Romeo-Juliet type situation. Two neighboring high schools could really not be any more different from each other. Chirori Public High School and all-girls Kikyo Private Academy. Rintaro Tsumugi from Chirori is a guy with a mean face that really makes it hard for anyone to approach him. But one day when Rintaro is helping out at his family shop, he sees this girl customer at a table, but she ends up running out of the store before he can talk to her. And then the next day, she actually comes back and apologizes to him, saying that she didn't run away because of him. And then that's where he learns that she's from Kikyo Private Academy, and that marks the start of their unlikely and tumultuous friendship that really might blossom into more. So for you romance lovers, this one is a must read. The next series in this category is I Want to End This Love Game. This adorable rom-com is so sweet. It starts off with childhood friends Yukiya Asagi and Miku Sakura, who start a game where they take turns embarrassing the other by saying I love you. But as they keep saying it to each other, even after they enter high school, the phrase starts maybe taking on a more real meaning. So this series started publishing in late 2021 and is still ongoing, so it'll be super easy to catch up right now.
So annoying.
Alright, the last recommendation I have from Mao's You Should Read This Manga category is Gachia Kuta. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this series right, but this series is the first action shonen on this list, but don't worry, there's more. We have Rudo and his foster father Legto, who live in the slums of a wealthy town. Because of their closeness to the disparity of all the living conditions, Rudo has learned how wasteful the upper class really is and starts to rummage through the garbage to find anything of value. And at the same time, he's trying to save things from the abyss, which is a hole where anything and anyone considered trash is thrown. His biological father was actually thrown in the abyss after he was accused of murder. But one day, Rudo finds Legto's corpse on the floor and Rudo is immediately charged with murder. Sounds like a very familiar situation. So we see Rudo getting thrown into the abyss, and we basically follow him through his journey of getting out. So the premise of the series is so interesting, and honestly, it reminds me a bit of Divergent, which I loved.
Okay, we finally finished our first category. You should read this manga. Moving on to our next category called Should Be Anime. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but all of the manga here, people really think they should be anime, and I'm also really excited for them to actually become anime.
The first series in this category is Sakamoto Days. The series
Kitty
is
got
action
492.
comedy gold. Our main
Teach why
character
don't you ever
Sakamoto
say
was
anything.
known as the greatest hitman of all time.
I know you're gonna get mad. The reason I didn't say anything is because Ariori was having that depressing talk about she being
Raiga Samurai.
So I was like,
Divergent?
Yeah, that movie, Divergent.
Kitty got 492. Ugh, at least tell the mod chat you're not live on TikTok.
Yeah, I was going to do that. That's why I said I was going to make an announcement, but that ended up being not possible because Ari was bringing up something about what she was mentioning. So I was like, best not bring that up right now. I'll bring that up after my stream. I'm done doing this artwork. I'm just doing a commission anyway, so it's not like I was going to mention it after the stream to y'all on the Instagram. It didn't make much sense to bring it up now because it was very bad news. Put on more bad news to bad news.
Raiga Samurai. Yeah, I just found out today.
Yes. And after the time when I got,
Kitty got 492. For real, it's annoying cause I don't get notifications if you're on or not, and I would appreciate you saying, hey, I'm banned on this play from so on so forth and come to the other ones.
Yeah, I didn't want you guys to know.
Raiga Samurai. Please don't strangle me, Bean.
No, that's not his fault. I did not want you guys to know. I was going to bring it up at the time I said I had an announcement. I was going to say your boy got forcibly suspended. But Aries like, did you read my shit? And I was like, ooh. So I went to read it. Saw the whole dog situation. Because I looked at the dog thing. I was like, oh, the dog's so cute. And then I realized what was happening with the dog. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, oh. That's not good. Maybe it's not great to jokingly bring up me being in trouble. So maybe I'll just do the stream and then bring it up after the stream.
Ever since he fell in love, he's left behind his dangerous life to take on the job of a convenience store clerk. But as once the greatest hitman, of course he still has a lot of enemies and a lot of people are cautious
Why is there like two different stories, two different mangas that's writing about hitman all of a sudden? Why is that a thing? Yo, Sakamoto Days not other one.
So in his work uniform, he has to unsuspectingly take down his enemies and keep his family safe. This art in this series is amazing, and Sakamoto is just such a great main character. Each chapter is so fun, and this series would honestly work great as an anime. I'm really looking forward to it. But before it does, you guys should definitely get ahead and read it first. The next series in this category is Marriage Toxin.
Yet I feel you don't like to drop more bad news on bad news.
But this time
yeah, that didn't make any sense. I was like, it's just me being suspended for like a few days. It's not a big deal. So I was like, I'll bring it up after the stream. It's not like it's anything.
You should have, cause I was asking and they were asking what the news was about. Doesn't matter. Just say it, dude.
Okay.
Nightbird. Be a support hero today. By using commands like /donation and /cash app. Beanbag. No bri, you're fine.
The marriage swindler, so our hitman, Gero, is a man who never thought he would get married, but he starts feeling the pressure when his clan threatens his sister off into marriage if he doesn't get married and produces an heir soon. So he tries to marry Mei Kinosaki, one of his assassination targets, but Kinosaki rejects him. So Kinosaki ends up actually helping Gero find marriage partners, and these two just start a really fun friendship. So this setup was so intriguing, it caught my eye immediately, and after reading it, it honestly works so well. All the new characters that come in are so interesting, and it really makes you want to learn more about everything in the entire series. This next series is I Think I Turned My Childhood Friend Into a Girl, a very cute high school BL romance between a guy, Kenshiro Mido, and his male childhood friend, Hyuda Mihate. So Kenshiro,
there's a very strange
Just know that you need to inform your crew on what's going on no matter what's, cause you want us to check your stuff. You need your people to know what platforms are working. I'd appreciate it.
I know. It was just
Beanbag.
Timer. I'm not saying anything.
But it's fine, I'll let the chat know.
No, I'll do it.
Mido has a secret. He loves makeup and actually begs his friend Hyuda to let him.
There is a very strange push for boys to do shit to boys, and I don't know why the world is so fixated on that, almost fetishizing the idea of that. That is very weird.
Apply makeup on him, and Hyuda obliges because he's had feelings for Kenshiro and decides to let him basically take it to greater lengths, such as dressing him up in girly fits and doing makeovers. So if you want to get into BL or are an already avid enjoyer...
See, this is the point I don't understand with the whole femboy thing. I understand boy on boy when they look like boys and, you know, they like each other. But I don't get it when they make the boy as feminine as possible to the point that you can't distinguish if it's a girl or not. That's the point I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Ain't the point of the gay romance is that it's not how feminine the individual is. It's like, it's the fact that they're both on the same, they're both the same sex. Isn't that the whole point? Ain't that the whole point of the whole, like, idea of that? It doesn't matter how feminine the individual is. It could be two masculine men who like each other. It kind of makes sense because it's all about them being the same. But, like, that's the whole point. But, like, I don't get it.
I highly recommend this one. It's super cute and wholesome and just would be so great as an anime too. Alright, the next series in the should be anime category is Shonen no Odes.
And I noticed something. I wonder if a dude were to say something similar but in reverse. If a dude said he will be happy to watch two girls like each other who look like both, well, yeah, in the same premise in reverse, but a male saying it, will he get backlash? I believe he would. Say he's creepy and strange.
a coming-of-age psychological seinen series that has stirred up a lot of conversation. This is a pretty dark series with many explicit themes and scenes.
I'm already
so
typing it out. Let's other know your only love on Twitch, Trovo, YouTube, and Kick.
Who is living such a miserable life in his hometown in the middle of nowhere. We can see him slowly getting trapped in his life there as he needs to work and support his family instead of going to college. One day, his favorite singer from a girl group actually shows up in town working as a convenience store cashier, and he's like, what in the world? But together, they toss and struggle to free themselves from their current lives. Yeah, these characters are just so fascinating, but they're definitely dealing with some tough mental issues that seem to spiral with every turning page. Definitely a dark read, but if you're into this kind of stuff, highly recommend. Alright, the last series of this category is Gokurakugai. This is a mix of such pretty art, funny stories, and just interesting characters. So as an action fantasy shonen, we follow Tao and Alma, who run the Gokuraku troubleshooter's office, kind of like the one
pretty much Malcolm X speak at this point.
In Gintama, if any of you guys have watched that. So this pair is faced with all different types of tasks and live their daily lives as goofballs, yet very, very capable characters.
Or Jordan Lee Peterson speak.
And you guys, the art in this is insane. Within the first chapter, I was already gasping at all the architecture, the characters, and the beasts that they have to tackle. And the main characters have such cool powers, and you really get to learn about them as you read on. I've only read the first 2 volumes because that's what's out physically, and I already highly, highly recommend it.
So now we're done with the category should be anime. Moving on to our next category, which is best for beginners. So beginners can read any manga they really want, but these next series that we're going to mention are so refreshing and not intimidating that I think they're really, really great if you're just starting out.
So our first series in this category is Blue Box. I've talked about this so many times, and can you believe it? This series is actually getting an anime soon. So this is a beautiful story about sports and high school romance. Blue Box revolves around these 2 high school characters who are super dedicated to their sports. We have Inomata Taiki, a badminton player. One day he notices that one of his upperclassmen, Kano Chinatsu, is always practicing basketball in the morning at the gym. From there on begins their super, super cute romance story, along with their journey to reach nationals in their respective sports. There's a really healthy balance between sports and romance and friendship in this, making it such a refreshing read. And you guys, the art is incredible, and I really, really can't wait for the anime. The next series...
There was anime... There was an anime called something All-Stars, something Stars. I forgot it was something Stars. And it was an anime about a boy moving into a new school. And apparently and he joined like a tennis club. I think it was tennis, right? I think it was tennis. And he lives with his mom, and he has like this broke ass dad who tries to like fuck with him and his mom. I guess he was like kind of like abusive or whatever the fuck. So they moved away from him, and stuff like that. And does anyone know what I'm talking about? It's a sports anime, but it's more of a slice of life drama type anime where there's like one of the I think they go through each boy's backstory. And each boy comes from like a broken home or some type of like issue. Like one has an issue with his dad, one has an issue with his mom who never really loved him. Bro, do you know what I'm referring to? You might know what I'm talking about. I think it's All in Our Stars or something like that. Something with stars in it. And it's a tennis anime. Hold on, let me see. Let me check this up real quick. It could be like something Stars. Tennis anime. Oh, Stars Align. That's what it's called. It tries to take a more realistic approach of like people with, I guess, problems in their lives. It left off on a cliffhanger where the main character's dad kind of like injured the mother by finding where they was living, and him and his friend went to his dad's apartment to go fight him, like physically fight him.
Samurai. Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, you should give it a try. Give it a try. It's the art style's nothing to scoff at, but the story is interesting because it shows each character having like their own like thing going on. It's like think of haiku, but realistically, and you get to know the boys for who they are and the issues that they dealt with on a daily basis from home.
Jonas McGee. Greets from Norway.
Hello.
Jonas McGee. What up?
What up, bro?
Jonas McGee. Hey guys.
What brings you to the stream, my bro? I'm not gonna lie, I did not do a great job on this character at all.
Actually does have an anime, so it's perfect for enjoyers of the anime who want to get into manga or the other way around. This is a cute school romance series with just the perfect amounts of cute, healthy communication, adorable aesthetic, and just chill daily school lives. Our main character Mitsumi Iwakura has just started her high school life after moving to Tokyo from the countryside. So she's supposed to be the new student rep giving a speech on the first day, but she actually gets lost and runs into her future classmate Sosuke Shima, who ends up leading her to the school. You guys, Mitsumi is literally the cutest character ever, and she's super great at communicating and basically growing as a person. So this read and watch were some of the happiest times of my life just because of how cute this series is. This next series, Doomsday with My Dog, is a comedic, unserious series about this high school girl living in a post-apocalyptic world
bored.
With her Shiba Inu.
Watched some more lore vids but got bored.
Episode. It's a full coma, so it's really easy to read and pick up wherever you last left off. So the Shiba Inu is named Haru and he can talk.
Have you been hearing about
so
what's been going on with the whole Warhammer debacle, where they keep changing things about the story?
Conversations, and they basically talk about everything from aliens cooking dinner to what happiness is to philosophy, and honestly everything is just kind of thought-provoking but unserious at the same time. So this is just a really fun read.
Jonas McGee.
So we've just finished the best for
Yet
beginners
Twitter got mad,
category, and now
LOL.
we're moving on to the last My Anime List category,
I'm not
which
for
is
that
unique
fuck
story
shit.
and art.
That shit's annoying.
The first series in this category is Toge Oni.
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't know anything much about Warhammer, but then again, I do understand, I can sympathize with the fans that the company's gotta stop fucking with their fan base, because they're gonna start finding out very soon. They gotta stop doing this. This is stupid. For woke ideology or whatever the case may be, they should leave things as is. If you're gonna push this woke shit, start with new stuff, or add something new. Don't fuck with the lore from before. That's where you're gonna start pissing people off. That's a real problem. I don't like that at all.
Jonas McGee. I saw a fan animation one guy spent 6 years making alone and got hooked, LOL.
Nice. But like, I just don't like that. That shit makes me really, like, it annoys me. Because nothing's sacred at that point. Like, nothing can't stay for what it was. It constantly gets fucked with because of whatever the times are feeling at the time, and that's very dangerous. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good precedent to bring to. I don't think that's a good mindset to have, where you can just constantly keep changing things because the times call for it.
Mythical adventure series that has stunning art. Set in a land where gods and humans roam the earth together, these humans have to learn how to deal with various gods with different temperaments. The story follows Mio, who had been chosen actually as a sacrifice to her village's god, but she obviously does not want that, so she ends up meeting this priest and they run away. They go on an exciting adventure that traverses a lot of themes like time travel, death, family, humor, and mythology. This series is really underrated and I highly recommend checking it out. Alright, the next series in this category is called Call the Name of the Night. It is one of the prettiest series I've ever seen. I actually saw it first in Japan and was so excited to see it released in English. Our main character here is struggling with deep anxiety to the point where her world turns into nighttime when she feels anxious. So she can't see anything, she doesn't know what's going on at these times, so her parents obviously want to cure her. So her parents end up finding a magician and we embark on this adventure of her overcoming her anxiety with this magician. The art is actually incredible, you guys, and it's only 33 chapters, so this is a really quick but pretty read.
We just finished all of my anime list you should read this manga categories. I highly recommend checking these lists out down below in my description below because there are a lot more series that I didn't get to cover this time that I still think are super worth checking out. So now let's dive into my personal favorites. These did not show up anywhere before on these lists, so yeah, really excited to share them with you guys.
Without further ado, my first personal favorite is Paradise
Warmer
Kiss.
lore is deep though.
This is
900
older
books of
series,
lore.
but for fans of none.
Yeah, and they're fundamentally trying to change that lore. That's what makes it very sickening. Just to push their woke ideology and shit. That shit's wild. It needs to be more inclusive. I'm like, no, it does not. I'm pretty sure it's pretty inclusive. You don't have to add shit to be inclusive.
Anna, you have to read this too because it's the same mangaka. Our high school girl, Yugari Hayasaka, finds herself in the studio of Paradise Kiss, a fashion design club from the nearby School of Arts. There, she meets 4 members of the club who want to recruit her as a model for their fashion show. At first, she's a bit reluctant, but then she finds herself abruptly falling deeper into the world of fashion, one that is not always too kind to her. She gets swept up in the coattails of romance, fashion, and a lot of personal growth and relationships. The art for this
South
is
Park had a parody
and I
on
loved seeing all the outfits that came out of this series.
On what, wokeism? Or are you talking about
this next series, Blue Flag, has been one of my favorites for years. For those of you guys who have been watching for a while, you would know this is a coming-of-age school romance series between 3 main characters. We have Taichi, the main character, but he ends up kind of being the middleman between our 2 other characters, Futaba, a cute, clumsy girl who has feelings for Taichi's close friend, Toma. So Taichi tries to help bring Futaba and Toma together,
which one? For
but as he
Warhammer,
does so,
or are you
these
talking
3's
about,
emotions and relationships becomes deeply entangled, and each of them struggle to find themselves and to grow. The art in this series is so soft and wonderful, and the story got me gripping the seat near the end of it. This one is suitable for literally any reader.
Oh, Disney.
This
okay,
next series is more of a recent pickup. It's called Usotoki Rhetoric. This is a historical and slightly mysterious shoujo series about a girl named Kanoko Urabe who can tell if somebody is lying. So because of that, she gets ostracized by her village because honestly, everyone is scared of her outing them for their lies. She runs into a detective one day, and together they realize that they have the ability to do lots of good detective work. So she starts working as this detective's assistant, and together they approach a bunch of interesting cases together, and I really enjoyed reading this one because I actually love hearing about cases and listening to true crime podcasts, so this was kind of that, but like in a whole different form. Alright, you guys, we're on our last series, but this one is a personal all-time favorite. March Comes in Like a Lion. I remember reading the manga right after watching the anime for the first time, and I could not stop reading it. This series is a slice of life coming-of-age series about a kid named Rei Kiriyama who is a brilliant shogi player. But with each chapter, each episode, the layer of the onion comes off surrounding his life. The readers really get to see how he truly feels, how he thinks, and how each interaction shapes his life. And each character is just so thoughtful, and this series is so bittersweet. But don't worry guys, it's mainly sweet. From finding out how important close familial relationships are to the importance of friends, the series has really taught me so much about my own life and my own relationships that I think everyone would benefit from too.
Woo, we've reached the end of this video, this long manga recommendations video. I hope you guys found at least 1 or 2 series that you guys are interested in checking out. And if you think any particular series belongs in these lists that you didn't see, definitely comment them down below for everyone else and me to check out. So thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. And as I said before, we will be doing a small giveaway of some of the series that you saw in this video. The titles are still to be determined. I'm working with Yum Press currently to deliver some of these copies to you guys. So definitely check out the links down below. All the giveaway details and how to enter will be there as well. And yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to check out these series.
Alright, but that said, this was Manga Tama. I think Tama. So with that said, like, share, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.